Today I'm going to show you how you can use just two colors, a black and white, to create a realistic looking chocolate covered strawberry or whatever you want to draw. At the top right of the screen here, you're going to see me swatching out some of the colors. So at the top is my Prismacolor white and black, and at the bottom is my Polychromos white and black. And you can see they're fairly similar, so it doesn't really matter what pencil brand you're using. As long as you're using an opaque white and an opaque black, you'll be able to get the same result here. And you can see where I want a bright highlight, like right in the middle of this strawberry here. I'm going to push a little bit harder to create that more bright look. And then as I want a more duller highlight or not as much darkness, I'm going to feather it out and fade out and more glaze the pencil over top a little bit. This is normally how I work when I'm using my charcoals. So I'll use a white charcoal and a black charcoal, and then I kind of just blend them out depending if I need it to be lighter or darker. Now, you could really follow along with this in any medium that you want. You're just going to do black and white versions. So you could use, white gouache, the black gouache, white acrylic, black acrylic, whatever you'd like. I did go ahead and use graphite to do my initial sketch on this book, and this is the Strathmore 400 series gray toned sketchbook. And I chose this because when I normally do my charcoal drawings, which I'm trying to mimic a charcoal drawing here just using colored pencils, I like to have a mid-tone paper, and I really like a mid-tone gray paper because then you can use the paper's color to your advantage. So you either have to go a little bit lighter than that color or a little bit darker than that color. And that's really how I like to work with my colored pencils. I like to kind of put down a base, a mid-tone for almost any drawing that I'm doing. Sometimes I'll use a watercolor base, a pastel base, or just colored pencils themselves. But then when you come in at this stage, you're just looking at your lights and your darks, and those are what's going to make the object look 3D. So you want to have some really light areas and some really dark areas, so it looks like the light areas pop out and the dark areas are going to recede, and that's going to give you that 3D look. And no, you don't have to use a gray paper for this. You could use whatever color you'd like. There's also the toned tan sketchbooks, which I have a few pieces coming up that I have done colored pencils in that sketchbook as well, and that is just as good. But you can use any paper that you want, or you could come over with a gray wash of watercolor and then go on top if you wanted to use watercolor paper for this. Now, the only real difference here is if you are using white paper, then you're going to use the paper as your highlight. So you're going to have to come in and create your midtones and create your darker areas. And you're going to use that paper as your highlight areas. So you might not use your white pencil as much. Now, I like to map out as many areas as I can, especially when a piece is this small. So this is a lot smaller than my hand. If you want to really focus on a lot of details, I would go a little bit bigger, but I'm trying to get some of these pieces done a little quicker in my sketchbook, just to have them a little bit looser. So I am going a little bit smaller here. But as always, if you really want to focus on every little detail, you'd want to go as big as possible. But depending how big you go, it is going to take a lot longer to complete. But typically I like to go in and map all of my light areas first or all of my dark areas first, and that goes along with my charcoal drawings as well. And once I get most of my areas mapped in for my lights and darks, that's when I like to come back and look at it again and decide if there's anything that I need to change, any areas I need to lighten or darken. And I'm always stopping to look at my reference photo. Now, when we are doing black and white pieces here, I would really advise to switch your reference photo over into black and white, which I do provide for all of my Patreon drawings that we're doing. But if you really want to focus on a black and white drawing, it is better to switch it into black and white, or if you want it to switch it into a sepia tone, whatever works for you. But you're going to be able to see the contrasting lights and darks a lot better. Sometimes when we look at colors, we don't really consider how dark a color is or how light a color is until we switch it into black and white, and then you'll realize, oh, that is a really light color or a really dark area, even though it didn't look that dark at the beginning. And when I was first just even blocking in my light areas, they didn't look as light as they do now because we didn't have that dark contrast next to them. So it might have looked like maybe they were just a mid-tone white, but now with that dark black next to it, you can see the light areas pop out a little bit better. And another tip I have for black and white drawings like this is you want to watch out for hard edges and soft edges. So some shadow areas will have a very defined edge. Like if you look on the left-hand side of this strawberry here, right up against that white area, it's a very defined edge. But as it sort of feathers out towards the other white highlight, it gets a little bit softer. So you do want to watch out for those different edges that we have in artworks because that's going to help make it more realistic looking as well. Not everything has a hard edge, but not everything has a soft edge either. But like I said, if you want to watch the full real-time version of this, drawing along with me in real time, that is available over on my Patreon. But I will go ahead and let you watch the rest of this video without me rambling. But thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video.